sunshine. Temps drop to the 80s. Less humidity. Watch out for a thunder bumper this afternoon. We just might get it.
You ever feel like everything has just been going great, or maybe it hasn't been going great, but now everything is just worse? This is the exact situation that I have just gotten out of. It happens to me at least once or twice a year. And usually it's around the middle of the year, like the mid-year blues, everything's been going well. And now you've reached a point where you're just in a slump and you're just spiraling downwards. You don't know what to do. So the first thing that has shifted and made a big difference in how productive I am, how I feel mentally and physically, is stay off social media and just stay off your phone for as long as possible, specifically in the morning. I find that I wake up very early. I wake up between 5 and 6 a.m. every single day on a regular day. Now, obviously, I don't have a stereotypical job, but this will still work for you even if you have a classic 9 to 5 job. Now, if this is a day when I'm not going to the gym, I usually stay off my phone for even longer. I will go for a walk, like a 30 to 40 minute walk. And then when I'm back from that walk, that's the only time I'm going to go on my phone and go on social media. Stay with your own thoughts for as long as possible. So I'd suggest you do whatever morning routine you have, get out, whether you're getting on public transport or driving to work, get there, do your to-do list for the day so that you have every important thing that you need to do for the day out of your mind. And then once you've set yourself up for the work day, then you can go on social media for a couple minutes or whatever, however long you go on it, and then proceed with your day. It makes such a drastic difference. You don't want the first thing you do in the morning to be making judgments about other people. Whenever I actually start implementing this, I feel so much better. This is ensuring that my sink is completely empty every single night. I never have dishes in the sink. I've been consistent with this for, I'd say, 2 weeks now, and I just feel so much better every day when I wake up and I walk into the kitchen. I'm just like, there's no dishes to do. This next tip is also great that actually goes really well with washing the dishes, having a very consistent wind down routine. Now, this is not a morning routine or an evening routine video, so I'm not going to suggest anything that you need to do for the evening or for the morning, like anything specific. I'm just saying keep the same routine, one that obviously works for you, not a negative one. My wind down routine usually starts around 8 p.m. because I'm usually done with my dinner by 7 to 7:30 p.m. If this is not your first time on the channel, then you know that I am on a fitness journey. I've been trying to get in shape. I want to feel good physically, mentally. I want to look snatched, okay? I want to look amazing physically, and I want to feel amazing mentally. So I've been on this journey for a while now, and I felt like I started to hit a plateau. Everything was kind of stagnant, and I realized that I was not getting enough movement. If you're already doing 10,000 steps and you feel like you're not in a space where you can see the results physically or mentally, I would say just increase them by another 3,000 to 4,000. If you only get around 2,000 steps a day, try to get to like 5,000 steps a day. The game changer for me is not specifically just getting the 10,000 steps, it's breaking up the movement throughout the day. That's when I started to notice major changes in the way I felt physically, energetically, and the way I look as well. I've noticed that I've leaned out a lot more since I spaced out the movement. One thing that I realized is sometimes when I have a really, really good day in the gym, I may have energy to do a few other things, but I wouldn't notice that the rest of my movement throughout the day would be slowed down. So when I don't go to the gym and I'm just doing like a morning walk and then other things, I'd find that I'd get around 12 to 13,000 steps in a day. Sometimes even 15,000 steps in a day. However, on a day when I'd go to the gym, sometimes I'd find I take only 6,000 steps because the gym took so much energy out of me. And then mentally, I've convinced myself that I've done a big workout, I've gotten enough movement, so I don't have to move that much. And so I'm just sort of sat still and barely moving throughout the rest of the day. And so then your gym time doesn't really add that much movement to your day. So what I find works best is I break up my movement. So I'll go to the gym, I'll get my workout in, and then throughout the day, I will ensure that I hit my 10,000 steps minimum. So I would time myself when I work. Let's say I'm working at my desk for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour. I'll give myself a 10-minute break. And in that 10-minute break, whatever I decide to do in my break, I have to do it while I'm moving around, walking around. Another thing that goes along with the 10,000 steps that really helped me is my fitness watch. It's black so you can't really see it, but if I do this you can see. So this is my fitness watch. You don't have to get any kind of fancy band, even just a classic pedometer. I don't care about it showing how many calories I've burned and all these different things. I just mostly care about the steps because I have an idea of how much movement I have in the day. Until you find yourself some kind of fitness tracking app, just pick your phone up and just hold it without looking at it so it can count your steps, and you can go into your health app or something like MyFitnessPal and it's going to show you how many steps you've taken. I will link this exact one I'm wearing in case you're interested. I've had it for about 2 months now and it works, it does the job, it works pretty well. So if you're interested, I will link it. It's not sponsored, but it may be something to just motivate you to get in more steps. Now, something that can go hand in hand with these steps, it does go hand in hand for me, is avoiding mindless scrolling. What I do is I try my hardest to not do any mindless scrolling. So whenever I'm going on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, I'm doing it consciously. I'm doing it for a specific reason, and I make sure that I have the accounts that I actually want to follow. Like, my feed is curated to what I want in general. Of course, there's things that you can't control that pop up on your feed, but in general, the things that you pay attention to are what's going to show up more for your page. And I tie it in with getting in my steps, because at a certain point you're going to get tired. So what I do for myself is, if I'm tired, if I'm bored, if I'm just thinking, I haven't been on Instagram today, let me just see what's going on there. If I want to do a little scrolling, I have to do it while I'm walking around. So I will pick my phone up, go on Instagram, and then I will just be walking up and down. I'll just be pacing in my living room while I'm scrolling on Instagram. If I want to go on TikTok, and the rule for myself is, if I stop walking, I stop scrolling. At least you get the benefit of getting some extra movement in while you're scrolling. Journaling. Now, I know journaling is not for everyone, but I think a lot of people make journaling a lot more complicated than it should be. You don't have to use fancy pens and write specific things and answer specific questions. I find that my favorite way to journal, specifically in the morning, I think this is what makes the biggest difference. You can journal and you can script and do whatever you want throughout the day, but my recommendation is, before you get on your phone, this is why I was talking about that detox from social media and stuff in the morning, try and dump all your thoughts first thing in the morning onto your journal. Sometimes while I'm journaling, ideas will pop into my head, and I might even have to stop for a few seconds just to quickly write down little ideas that pop into my head. Or you may have had like the most ridiculous dream or like a nightmare, and you keep replaying it over and over and over again. Or someone upset you the day before and you're so angry and you can't get your thoughts together. Once you just get everything out, when you're just starting, it might feel like it's not working because you're like agitated and you're amped up, you don't know what you do. But by the time you're finished writing down everything, it's kind of like all the thoughts from your brain just transferred onto the paper. So this is actually one of my morning journals right here, and I do write a lot in it. When I just get all my thoughts out on the paper, just like a thought dump, you don't have to put it in any specific order, you don't have to punctuate, right? Just get all your thoughts out of your head. It makes a massive difference. When I'm writing about everything that I want to do, all my goals, all the plans I want to achieve, I like to write it from a perspective as if it's already happened. Then I will use this journal just because I really like the way it looks. It looks like it contains secrets, and I don't know, something about it just gives me such good positive vibes. If you're interested, I guess I can link it in the description box below. This next one might be a little bit difficult for you, especially if you absolutely love music, but don't worry, I'm not saying stop listening to music. First thing in the morning, like during the time I take a walk or during the time I'm driving to the gym, I replaced listening to music with listening to an audiobook or a podcast. Now, I find that that's amazing because, like, driving to the gym, there's not much else you can do aside from drive. I have listened to so many books because of Audible and just audiobooks. It makes a massive difference. This is not an ad for Audible, but Audible, sponsor me. I listen to Audible all the time, but also in the morning, I will only listen to like self-help, motivational, those kinds of books. Those are the only books I listen to in the morning because I want to control the specific information that's coming into my head. I know that it's helping me. And so whether it's a health podcast on how to eat better, how to heal your gut, whether it's something about habits like Atomic Habits, so many books. And if you want a video all about my book recommendations and specific audiobook recommendations, not every physical book translates well to audiobooks just because of the reading style of the authors. So if you want those recommendations, please let me know and I can make some. By the time I get back home, I probably have like some really good ideas flowing in my mind. And then throughout the day, while you're in the gym, while you're working out, while you're working later on in the day, whatever, if you want to listen to whatever music you can listen to, go ahead and put on that music, but just try listening to some good information. And it actually really improves your vocabulary as well, even if you don't realize it. This next tiny habit that can really help you glow up, change your life quickly is taking immediate action. And by this, I don't mean like go and do something major immediately. What I mean is always be ready. So if I have an idea that just randomly pops up for like a video idea, whether it's for YouTube, whether it's a self-help kind of video, whether it's a beauty video, a hair growth video, sometimes these ideas pop up at the most random time. So sometimes I might be in the shower. I actually got like 2 of the tips from this video while I was in the bath last night. The ideas just popped in my head. And so I quickly went to my phone, just said, "Hey Siri, open my notes app." We all think we have a great memory. Don't trust it. It doesn't matter how amazing your memory is. Write it down. As soon as you think of whatever that thought is that you want to do, whatever it is, quickly write it down. If you're home, you can have a notebook like this. I always have a notebook around somewhere. I will quickly get my notebook, write down whatever the idea is, whatever I needed to do, quickly write it down. Now, if it's not something like an idea, if it's something you can physically make a change with, like right now, because you've decided you want to get 10,000 steps a day, don't say, "I'm going to start getting 10,000 steps a day from the 1st of next month." Stand up right now and start doing it. Waiting always wastes so much time. Taking immediate action on whatever plan you're trying to make makes a massive difference, even if it's just a small action. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see another video that's more vlog style where I talk about all these tips and how you can glow up more in depth, make sure you hit the subscribe button, which is right there, as well as the bell icon. You can hit the bell so you get notifications every single time I post. Also, my memberships are open, so if you want to watch all these glow up videos as well as other videos and get early access to them, you will be able to get that when you join my membership. You will also be able to give me tips and specific ideas, videos that you want to see, and a few members only videos. So if that seems interesting, join the membership as well, which is also linked right on my channel near the subscribe button. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.